So I started smoking weed and drinking a little bit in middle school and into high school, and that quickly progressed into kind of an anything and everything type of deal. I had a surgery when I was 17 and was prescribed um, Percocet at that time to deal with that. And once the pain kind of went away, I remember liking that feeling that it gave me very much. When I was 22, I tried liquid Percocet for the first time and felt that I don't know, it made me comfortable with myself, and that was probably something I had a feeling I hadn't had in a long time. So very rapidly got really into OxyContin, and it was very widely available. It was really easy. I didn't have to go to any doctors or anything like that because just the streets were flooded with it. And after 2 or 3 years of that got way too expensive, and kind of only started doing heroin at that point and moved into that, and tried multiple times to get clean over the next 10 to 12 years. And I went to many rehabs, and eventually I went to Cedar over at University of Colorado Health, and they helped me very much, and found out about Mile High Workshop, and they gave me a job and a lot of life skills and some support. And now I have 5 years clean. So I had tried to get clean many times and failed, way too many to count, and had kind of run through the trust of my family and my friends and my support system, and was kind of out there as a lone wolf. And my father got very sick all of a sudden, and didn't look like he had too long, and made the choice to go into rehab while he was in the ICU in the hospital, and didn't know if he would be alive when I got out of treatment, but really felt like I wanted him to see me clean before he passed away. And we actually ended up having a good year and a half with me clean before he ended up passing. But I'd say my father getting sick was what really gave me the motivation to get clean. Communication is a big thing. If you think something's going on with your kids, talk to them about it. And those can be really tricky conversations. But I know from my parents, a big thing they did was go to Al-Anon, and which is a 12-step support group for friends and family of alcoholics and addicts. And they worked really hard to work their own program and kind of deal with what was going on with me. I think the big thing they learned there was they can't control it, they didn't cause it, but they can compound it. So really taking that approach of taking responsibility for their part, but also holding me accountable for my part, and not thinking that everything is their fault. But I think getting that outside support is really important, and keeping the lines of communication open is very important. One of the big things I had to deal with was almost a resentment towards my family and my friends, my parents specifically, along the lines of, why did you let things get this bad with me? And putting a lot of responsibility on them for my actions. And that was really, really tough to get through. And also very important, I wouldn't be sitting here today with 5 years clean without accepting responsibility for my actions, but did have to deal with that resentment of why aren't you helping me? And I think in any family, that's a really tough situation, because a lot of people don't know what to do. And I think getting that outside support, there are a ton of groups and a ton of options out there, and they're not very hard to find. But dealing with that resentment, I'd say that was a really big thing.